There it is. That was weird. Barney, TJ, Sean. Hi guys.
You know who's not going to be on tonight? Chad Billet.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, on here.
Yeah. We're paused. Oh, now we're done. It really is a 5-minute delay.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Wow.
Barney, TJ, Sean. Shows you how long it is.
Hey, everybody. There we go. We'll move in a little closer.
You don't have to.
Yeah, we do. Everybody wants to see Chad.
No, thank you. Probably should have screenshotted the results from Wednesday. I have to go back and look at the pictures.
Oh, yeah, bring them up. We usually just bring up live RC.
I can't find Wednesday. I'll try again.
Let's see. I wasn't here, so I don't really know every place it raced.
I know. I think it was
Well,
basically just Pheasantland Factory and RJ's. That's about it, really.
hi, folks. I'm Aaron, and you're watching Bloodline RC. And tonight we got special guest Chad Billet.
Hello.
We also got Brandon Growler, and guess who we don't have? Kyle.
Kyle!
Horning. Yes.
He's actually missing one for once.
Yeah, I know. So we can hold this over his head. So he's been
I
telling us.
never miss a
I
show.
never miss a show. Now, yeah, he's missed 2.
Yep.
I count the other one as a miss. Watch him walk in the door like
Right.
the freaking Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
Oh, and like I said,
Yeah.
this show's like Fantasy Island, Love Boat, and Murder She Wrote combined. So that means within the next 5 minutes, one of us needs to be murdered, and the other 2 have to solve the crime.
Well, better than a doornail, so that solved the case.
So, let's just turn out the lights. Someone will be dead, and then we'll figure it out.
It's probably gonna be me.
Kyle!
Yeah. Wait, but it's
Oh yeah,
also
Kyle's bio.
it's also a love boat. So 2 people got to fall in love. Chad wants to be the dead one.
Please.
But whoever falls in love, they're going to be on the fantasy island, so they're going to live out their fantasy. So, you know,
Right.
maybe when Kyle shows up, we can get him involved.
What's he doing that he's late?
Oh, he's working
He's
at the
working
school.
Some stuff like that. You
The female volleyball team's probably playing tonight, and he couldn't miss that. So we got 19 viewers on tonight. So we're going to talk to Chad Billet. We're going to talk about the Magnum 12T Mud Boss Nationals
We
at
can
the
save
factory.
that for last if you guys want to talk about Pheasantland first. Let you guys do
We
your-
will talk about that last, and we're going to have Chad go over some results.
Yes.
Chad's a little shy, so we're going to get him out of that real fast.
I am not a outgoing person, so
You're very talkative, though.
when I know you, when I know
Even when I didn't know you, you're very talkative.
you know, when you start seeing the same people on the tech table, you kind of like start making small chat and
Yeah.
know who's
You've
Shake
always
that
been a
cheese,
very
who's not
personable
cheating.
guy.
yes,
So ever since the first day I met you, you've always been personable.
you star their
wifey.
names. Like if they're giving you a hard time, like okay, all right.
I'm checking
Who's the
you.
funny-looking guy in the back? Well, somebody looking in the window?
Probably Kyle.
That might be. So let's go over some results because there was a week of racing and I don't know anything about it. So Brandon, why don't you lead us off with the results for
Pheasantland
Tuesday
Tuesday. Well, 12T Sportsman Mud Boss, that would be Jax Yon, Paige Brady, and Jason Durr. BL2 was Chad Kohler, Dave Dries, and Stephen Weller. Intermediate class would be Aubrey Romig, Kenzie Kuzer, and Jocelyn Darsing? Sig?
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah. Mini Mud Boss was Kermit Ray Horning and Matt Kirkpatrick. I'm surprised it wasn't a top 3 Horning, usually. And then Super Street Stock was Brian Stout, Steve Weller, Alex Moyer.
All right.
And I actually wound up going down and my cars were crap.
Well, that sounds about right for
Yeah,
you and anywhere you go.
I know, right?
All right, let's break out Wednesday night, I believe. I'm checking here.
I believe
Park
the factory
Lane?
ran, correct? Wednesday
Did it?
night?
Yes.
Yes.
The factory ran Wednesday night?
The
Oh.
prelim.
What are you looking up?
I'm looking up Park Lane to see if they ran. Yeah, they did. They had a run on Wednesday night. So we'll go over that then after we talk about. Let me make sure I'm on the right factory. There's two of them.
Third oval.
Nope, that's not it. Wednesday night Worlds.
I got Wednesday for factory.
All right, you can do that.
Oops. No, I don't. No, I do.
Wait, is that the off-road track?
No, I got the dirt oval.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I can't find the Wednesday night.
I think I got it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
No,
I'm
I
in the
don't.
wrong place.
12T Mud Boss Wednesday night at the factory was Joe Schrader, Jason Hausman, and Chris Spidle. Spidle.
So actually, it was not Jason Hausman because sadly he was disqualified because he had the wrong motor, and he was
Okay.
driving Terry's car. And
Wait, who was?
Jason Hausman and Terry were sadly disqualified. So whoever was in fourth.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what
then
class
it
was that?
was 12T Mud
12T.
Boss.
What did they have?
The new brushless.
The BL2.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's illegal now, but it wasn't then.
Gotcha. All right, so then
Wait,
updated.
wait.
was Joe Schrader.
You're telling us right now the factory can run the brushless motor.
Yes.
Starting when?
This weekend, I believe. I have to.
So this will be the
Oh,
first
that's
race with the brushless.
They will be.
Explain.
They will be with the 12 turn. Well, it's a matter of time. They will be with the 12 turn, but they will be on a locked gear.
What's the gearing?
Okay.
I believe it's like novice, and I think it's 1690.
1690. So open gear for the 12T.
Still, yes.
So it might be worthwhile to take your car up there and just, decide if you want to go with the brush motor or the brushless.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think? I mean, you're the factory expert at this point.
my motors.
Your motors?
Yeah.
So go with a Magnum motor?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm
That's
running
Magnum
12T
motor.
this Saturday, because I know we're planning on going out there this Saturday.
How much does the Magnum motor cost?
It's 35, but I think after this weekend I'm gonna knock it down. I think I got a couple left. So
Whoa.
I might do
Whoa,
30.
whoa! Did I just hear knock it down?
Yes.
Sale. Magnum
There you
12Ts.
go.
Yes.
Are they Magnum like, or that mean they're extra big?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I guess. they're-
Extra power?
Yes.
Extra power for her pleasure? I mean, that should have been
Sure.
the tagline on them.
There you go. Well, I guess since Jason Hausman was disqualified, we got Joe Schrader, Chris Spidle, and Lance Batdorf coming in third.
So basically, the top three was disqualified.
No, just them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So second and third. So that shows like how good those motors are compared to the brushed, I guess.
I think they're. I think they're misleading the information about the brushless because I think it's just another 13.5. Obviously, if you look at everything else.
That's what it seems like.
But
It's almost like a just stock 13.5, and if you gear it right, it's plenty powerful.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't gear it right, it's a dog.
Yeah, because I think from what I've been reading up on Salvis and everything else, that the 12T still has more torque coming out of the corner than the brushless. So,
I can see that.
but obviously at the factory that don't matter.
No,
No.
it's about avoiding everything there.
Yes.
You don't want a lot of torque there.
No.
Because, it's really loose dirt. Though, the last
It's in the middle.
when I went up there that Wednesday night for the Worlds, and I went down and looked at the track, I haven't seen it since last year, you added a lot of banking in that place.
Yeah, Garrett did a good quality job there. He was wanting to make the track, get it fixed from last year, get it up, banked up a little bit,
Sure
a
did.
little bit more. And
Nice.
When Kyle told me that, I didn't believe him. I'm like, nah, it's still flat.
yeah,
It's not like the rink,
he
the outdoor rink.
he definitely did a great job doing that and adding a little bit more banking and makes it a little bit more fun.
Nice. Well, we'll see this Saturday.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, you guys coming down?
Yep.
We'll be there.
All
Trying
right.
to do an invasion, so we'll see.
Woo.
So
Let's
moving
not
on.
invade too much because I heard traffic and parking was a bear down there
Yeah.
this weekend. So
So moving on.
I'm going to try to do the
13.5.
double. The upstairs and the downstairs.
That'll
Matt
be-
Hogentire and Roy DeNike have done it. And I can't see how those guys do it and keep track with every class. That seems a little difficult.
Because Roy runs a lot of classes, and
Yes.
so does Matt.
Yeah.
I'm only doing 2.
One
I'm
each.
trying to decide like between big block and the small block for
I might-
downstairs.
I might stay Wednesday and try to do the off-road.
We got Barry Rosenberger.
Because I actually will have my controller, receiver, and transponder from the 13.5 because the 13.5 will be parked until the end of the season.
Wait, you got a 13.5
Yes,
that I can run?
if you want to.
Is it good?
Well, if he keeps
Do
reading,
you want me
you'll
to
find out.
Do you really want to find out how good it is?
Yeah.
Well, moving on to 13.5 Mud Boss, Chad Billet takes
Yeah.
the win
Hey, no.
Oh, I
Over-
want that car.
over Lewis
Can I race that
Paladin
car?
and Brian
Huh?
Hughes.
Can I race that car?
I don't know if you can see it, but if you could keep going until Lance shows up. I don't know if he's on here.
Lance is in
Can I beat
last.
Lance?
Lance is in last.
He was doing a lot of,
Swerving and wrecking? That sounds like Lance.
I'm trying to be PG here, but talking crap. And,
Well, he's done that
It's
in
Lance.
other tracks.
It's Lance.
Ah.
It's Lance.
So, yeah. He was saying about how you had TQ in the first round. I'm like, all right, bet, hold my beer, you know. Went out there in
Oh
the
my
second round,
beer.
got TQ, got first. I'm like, hey, where are you starting in the feature?
Well, Chad Billet actually takes the win on that race. 3 seconds over second place. So
Nice job.
Finally got to hold the TQ.
Man, if you
Yeah,
can run
you're
that
allowed.
car, I'll run that car. Beats me carrying a car.
It's fast.
I like fast.
Huh?
I like fast. Fast is
Can you
good.
handle it, though?
That's
13.5.
We'll find out.
Don't hit the wall.
We'll try not to.
don't pull a Rob Storms and hit the outside.
Just
building
drive the wall.
No, don't hit the wall
Alright.
outside of the track.
I would love to be half hands wheel drive.
You
I
have to
like drive.
You have to wear that shirt though.
You know, lately, this year I have been half hands wheel drive. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
keep
have.
showing up to Pheasant Land, never drive my own car.
Yeah.
I showed up the one night with nothing. I carried nothing in and got a car to race. I like that. It really saves my back.
So over to 360 17.5 sprint. That was Terry Hartlob, Bryson Hartlob, Ryan Lester.
The Hardlops have definitely been on fire
Yeah.
at the factory. They got their 360s really good, and they've been on fire. It's to the point now where like we have to tech them just to make sure they're legal. It's like, you guys are doing really good. We just want to make sure, you know, it's a lock class.
Here you go, Skunk.
What does he want?
Feel free. You want some Cheez-Its?
Oh, jeez.
Anybody want Cheez-Its?
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
alright. 410 open sprint was Matt Hugentogler, Jeff Greenlee, and John Pauly. Did they run the midgets on Wednesday?
Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
Okay. John Pauly and Chris Speidel.
Yes.
Hey, you know what I hate?
I
People
got-
that keep saying that you're going to be able to run their car and say, I'll bring it out so you can run it,
Yeah.
and then you never get to
Yeah.
because they always forget it.
Mm.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about somebody else that has a sprint car.
Yeah.
Who could that be?
Somebody that sell fingers.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you really want to, you just got to get a controller, receiver, and a transponder.
Up to all those things. Have multiples.
You really want to.
Moving
You're
over.
You really don't.
No.
You're making it sound bad.
I recommend bringing a body because it's one of my old bodies, my very first Mud Boss body, and it's
A little jacked up.
so
yeah.
a
basically
lot of
bring
jacked
mine
up.
and then see how it works.
I brought it out of retirement, and it's just like, well, it's a 13.5. How bad can it be? Like, I don't want to run my good body, and yeah, I mean,
What are you running for a motor?
the new factory G-Force motors.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say I haven't gotten a chance to run anyone else's, but by far I got my slot machine in my late model there, but the FG motors are by far the best.
We're going to call these Cheez-Its Kyle. Assume there.
Okay.
Hey, Kyle.
Okay.
You're next with the announcements. You got to do the next results.
Mini Mud Boss.
You know, the white cheddar, I like the pepper jack. Pepper jack ones are good.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good. The white cheddar are good too.
Yeah.
Even the cheddar jack ones.
Cheddar jacks? Didn't know there was a cheddar jack. I thought it was just pepper jack.
No.
Pepper jack.
No.
Pepper jack loves his Fraggle Rock.
There's a lot of
He knows.
Mini Mud Boss, Sean Good, John Pauly, Chris Speidel. Open late model, Bryson Hartlob, Matthew Berry, and Gil Palomino. He's a fish. He's a white trout, yellow trout, whatever. Palomino. You never heard of a Palomino trout?
Can't say
I don't know why you went with trout. Like, if you would have said Palomino instead of horse, I'd be like, okay, I understand that. But
I've never heard
Palomino
of
trout,
that.
like, what are you getting at?
It's the albino trout. The yellow ones?
Sure.
Yeah, it sounds like an urban
it's
legend.
It's okay. I've never heard about the Palomino horse. So.
Oh, we're getting off topic.
Kyle, have you heard of a Palomino horse? I've heard of a Palomino horse. Well,
That's a myth.
do you think
That's a
Brandon's an
unicorn.
idiot? Yes. Yes, Brandon is an idiot. Brandon's very dumb. Talking about Palomino fish. Who ever heard of a Palomino fish?
Hey,
That is probably Kyle to a T.
Yeah,
Yes.
That is very Kyle to
You
a
would have
T.
been a little more derogatory.
yeah.
That was the nice Kyle.
How about this?
He sure is missing
Ask
a really
the
good show.
viewers, have
Yeah,
they
he's-
ever heard about a Palomino fish or a Palomino horse?
Why do I have to ask when you just asked them?
Because I wasn't talking to the camera.
Well, look at
Camera's
the
right there. I'm sure it heard you.
Did you all hear me? Did you?
I asked them again. Maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Over
we're losing them. I mean, this show just
You're losing them.
went down.
Anything Thursday?
No, we still have Wednesday night at Park Lane.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Park Lane, 21.5 touring, A main. Well, this is going to be tough. Come on. Enzo G, Eric Dubar, and Scott Shoemaker. They finished how they started. USGT A main, tear up there ever since he got that MI8. He went from that Schumacher. No, not MI8. He got an X-ray. Ever since he got the new X-ray, the MI8, upgrading from that, he's been on a tear. I saw he TQ'd this weekend. And he TQ'd Wednesday night, finished first over Elliott Boyce and Chris Gillick. And Elliott Boyce is no slouch, I'll tell you that. He was 2/10 of a second faster.
There you
Way
go.
to go, John. So that takes us to Thursday. And nobody ran Thursday. So that will take us to Pheasantland Friday night. I'll do that because we've heard your voice too much.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
12T Sportsman A main. Jack Sean, Aiden Weller, and Jason Master of Disaster Durr. Rookie Mud Boss A main. MJ Traileys. Who's that? Austin Zornick. Oh, the Zornicks came back out.
Yep.
And Landon Bast. Who are these names? I go away for 1 week and there's like new people.
Yeah.
Mini Mud Boss A main. Kermit Horning, Ray Horning, Kyle Horning.
I want to point out that Kermit is on a 5 to 6 race winning streak.
I believe he was on.
Really?
I believe that was his sixth.
That is all from the Magnum Motors. So I want
Wow.
to give a special shout out to Kermit
All
for
right.
on a dominant run.
Congratulations, Kermit.
Yes.
Then we got SR10 A main. Guess which one of the Ludwigs won this time? Brett Ludwig, Joe Ilg, and Chad Kohler. Intermediate A main. Kenzie Kuzer, Ryan Bast, Frank Stinson. Superstock A main. Kyle Horning over Brandon Growler and Jordan Schweitzer.
Oh, see that guy that's not here.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's here.
Yeah.
He's the guy that Cheez-Its. Can you believe this thing can outtry Brandon?
Yeah.
I can.
That's when he races, right?
Fish. Palomino.
It looks orange.
It's a yellow-orange trout.
Whatever.
Well, that's a person right in it. That's
that's a
in
person,
a
yeah.
suit.
Pro Moto A main. These are motorcycles, my friends. Adam Curry, Mark Klaus, and Jay Stevens. BL2 A main, the big show.
I said screw the BL2.
Brett Ludwig, Joe Ill, Kurt Nicholas. The Iron Man came out again.
Yep.
Finished in the top 3. Nobody wrecked him on the first lap.
Nope.
That was nice of them. And that's Pheasantland for Friday night. We'll be back there on Sunday, though, because they ran Rumble's rank. So what else do we got Friday night? I think, nope, we got Saturdays. You want to do RJ's? I guess not, so I will.
Okay.
All
Great
right.
effort. Great effort.
I'll do Sunday. It's right here.
You're going to have to wait. RJ Speedrome Saturday points. Let's see, we got 13.5 A main. Jeff Droffich, Les Hartzell, and Kurt the Ironman Nicholas. We got intermediate 12T A main. Daniel Schaefer, Dave Green, and Hayes Coffey.
Right.
Coffey, Coffee. Stock Mud Boss A main. Kurt Nicholas, Kyle Knaus, Carter Rochinski. 17.5 Street Stock, Dale Hartzell, Brett Hollinger, Jeff Drofish. Let's see, hold on. BL2 Mud Boss A main. Kurt Nicholas, Carter Rochinski, Ryan Rochelle. Midget A main. Doug Knaus, John Pauly, Phil Marabella. Savage Print A main. Ryan Rochelle, Brian Moyer, and Dylan Moyer. Oh, there's no Matt Groover there.
No.
17.5 Sprint Car A main. We got Phil Marabella, Kyle Knaus, Dale Hartzell. And that's RJ's. Now we got
Sunday.
No. Get
Park
stick
Lane
to a
Sunday.
day.
Okay, fine.
We got Park Lane too, but we also have 997 Street Touring Stock A main. Ryan Cobalt, Ty Deep, Tom Daggett. USGTA main. Mo Denton, Bob Van Wagner, Dave Bartels.
Oh, that's where they've been.
That's where they've been. WGTR A main. Logan Shetter, Keith Keller, George Cole. 21.5 Touring Car A main. Trent Daggett, Brian James, T.R. Adler. Formula One A main. Let's see if Davies gets in here. Logan Shetter, Mark Smith, Brian James. No, he didn't even run.
Oh.
Better look next time.
Well, you gotta show up to do it.
Take us to Sunday there, twerp.
Sunday, Rumble at the Rink, down at Pheasantland. 12T Sportsman Mud Boss was Pete Cipolla, Jason Durr, and Jax Jan. BL2 was Chad Kohler, Joe Ilg, Brent Ludwig. Kyle came in fourth. And that's it.
Wow, yeah, that is it. So let's get to Jersey Racers. We forgot about Jersey. They ran Oval on Saturday.
Okay.
Oval Mini Stock Mud Boss A main. Bubba Bursey, Dan White, George White Sr. RJ Legend, Al Simon, Ray Bursey, RJ Bursey. And we have Bandit Mud Boss A main. Jason Dooley, Jeff Sargent, Matt Hunt. 1RC, Bubba Bursey, Larry Bird, Anthony Murillo. Late model, HF late model A main. Mac Daddy Lovin', Matt Hunt, Jeff Sargent. Latrax Rally A main. They back in a lot of cars there.
Mm-hmm.
Dan White, Anthony Murillo, George White Sr. SK Car A main. Bubba Bursey, Ken Hammond. And name we haven't heard from in a while, Tom Little.
There you go.
He was there. HF Sprint A main. Matt Hunt, Jason Dooley, Al Simon. Euro Truck A main. Sean Kelly, Dan White, Kevin Ketch. 1RC late model A main. Sean Kelly, Anthony Murillo, Larry Bird. The basketball player?
It might be.
Oh, all right. Well, you finish up on Sunday now. Maybe you can do Park Lane.
No. Well, I gotta look it up then. So they ran what? Saturday and Sunday?
They ran Sunday.
Wow.
They ran Saturday. I think they ran Saturday. Just look them up and you do it.
I thought you did do it.
I did Wednesday.
Oh.
I mean, Chad's anxious. He wants to talk about his shit.
Am I losing my mind, or did he not go Park Lane Saturday?
I thought it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
Yeah.
You are losing your mind.
Because I thought you did RJ's and then you went to Park Lane.
Park Lane, indoor on road, 127. That's Saturday to you and me. TTO2 production. We got Bob S., Josh Starr, and Jeff D. Sounds like rap names. US GTA main, John Willman, The Stig, Tom Trez. BTAA main, Tom Trez, Gene W., and Deshaun Dash. 21.5 Touring, Enzo G., Jeff Cuffs, and Dan Pauling. So, that brings us to...
My time to shine.
What is it? Where were we?
It was the Mud Boss Nationals presented by Magnum Motors.
And where was this at?
The Factory RC.
All right.
Saturday was the place to be.
Apparently it was. How many entries did you have?
We had... It was 110. 110.
I heard the parking lot.
Wow, that's
crazy.
a lot of entries.
Thanks, Kyle. It sure was. I was hoping for a little bit more, but hey, 110 of the best came down to play.
Did you have to spend a lot on trophies?
That wasn't my department. I was told...
Did you have a lot of entry fees? Did you do a lot of payouts?
That's not my
Were there a
department.
lot of reps? Did
When
it
you guys
take
get
a long
Hunter on
time?
here, you can talk to him about that. So I'm going to actually do it a little bit different than what you guys do, because I'm going to save the 12T and the 13.5
Yeah, that's fine.
because
That's fine.
they had 100 laps and those two were the bigger big classes.
You want to build up some suspense here.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm
Put
going
the
to actually
support
do.
classes first.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to do like all 8 of the 13.5 and all.
Yeah,
8
it's
of
about
the 12
time somebody on this show got organized.
Right.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
start it off with the last race of the night, Midget A main. James Henry picked up the win,
Nice.
followed by Garrett Williamson and George Williamson.
Shaky beat his dad.
Yeah.
G-Dub Jr. and G-Dub Sr. Now we move on to the 410 Sprint. Matt Holgentire. If I said your name wrong, I am deeply apologize, even though I see you all the time. Dylan
We always
Zortman
say I'm wrong.
and Jeff Zortman. Father and son combo again. Now we move down to the 360 Sprint.
Barney's bored. He's sleeping.
Oh well.
He's
Freak
always
Barney.
Bryson Hartlob picks up the 360 win, followed by Tyler Elise and Colvin Zortman. Moving down to the open late model, Chris Klein, George Williamson, and Todd Ravel. What do you guys give him a
Ravel?
nickname?
Ravel.
Ravel?
Yeah, he was pretty damn close.
Isn't it Ravel?
Rabble Rabble?
Rabble.
That's what I call him. Rabble Rabble.
So we're going to move on to the mini mud boss. Joe Williams picks up the win, followed by Chris Bendel and Scooby Sean Good.
What is this like here? You're going to 6-car features.
I'll get to that. I'll
with a
get to that.
smaller-
After. I'm in the
smaller
zone, fellas.
All right, he's in the
Smaller
zone.
car.
Now we're going to
Smaller
move
car.
on
Less cars.
We're going to
Seems
move
like we
on
should be doing 10.
to
Yeah.
the novice 12T, followed by a newcomer Aiden Hare, Apex Media, and Camden Kaminsky.
Hmm.
Now, we're just going to save the 12T for last. We're going to do the 13.5.
Ooh, who won that?
So,
He's gonna go from 8 to first, so you gotta wait longer.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I wasn't, but that's a good idea.
Man.
So, we're going to... Tyler DeNike came up with 8th. Brian Hughes, 7th.
Just so
Brock
the audience is
Hebner-
not confused, we're starting from the bottom, from the last place, working our way up.
We're doing something cool. It only took me to be on this show to do
Drum
it.
roll.
Brock Hebner in 6th. Bobby Butler in 5th. Zach Swanser the 4th. And now your podium finishers. Zach Swanser. Oh, I already said his name. Nate Gill. Shane Miller. And someone who I did not think who was going to be running Mud Boss, but he said he was. And got a chance to watch this race. And wow, did he dominate. Casey Hess.
Wow.
Oh, okay. You've been hearing that name a lot.
You've been hearing that name and late model and 410. He's just been also in midget. He's been absolutely dominant. I'm gonna see if he wants to run my 12T and for the Motorama tune-up race.
Yeah.
That way he can have a win column in every car he's entered. So
There you go.
I'll have to talk to him about that. Now, for the 12T, from 8th to 1st. So, I started where I finished.
I feel like you made it
last.
in.
I made it
In
in.
a tight
Yes.
field.
It was.
You beat out a lot of good guys in that B main. I saw Miller was in there.
Yeah.
Who else was in there? There was somebody else big in there. And I'm like, wow, they're in the B main. That's how tough this is. Lance was in there.
Yes. So I can pull up that if I can find it.
Mr. I'm so good at the factory, couldn't even qualify.
Yeah.
So Aaron Miller was right behind me, and I was listening in because I think he was honestly a straightaway behind, but he was running me down. Joe Schrader, Kyle Martin, Chris Bindle, Chuck Eccles, and Lance.
Yeah,
Wow.
So yeah.
Stacked B main.
Mhm. that's usually an A main right there.
Yes.
Well, these names on the A main are definitely tough. They've been tough all summer, and I will get to their names when I say them. But me coming in last.
Yeah.
Jeff Kaminsky in 7th. Bobby Butler in 6th. Kenny Fisher in 5th.
The Fisher boys are good.
Mhm.
Oh man,
Them Fisher
beyond
boys.
good. Beyond
Yeah.
good. Joe Williamson comes in 4th. I cannot even say his name, but it's Austin, and I duly apologize if I cannot say your name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Kuchinash? Kuchinash?
Kanash.
I'm not really good at pronouncing names.
Kochnash?
but,
Kochnash. Yeah, that sounds good.
Kuchinash?
Yeah, we're good.
Austin K came in 3rd.
Yeah.
Shane Miller in 2nd, and a Magnum Motor driver picking up the dub, Kurt
There you
Kaminsky.
go.
Wow. So you're making all these race-winning motors, and you're going to give that up. Giving it up while you're on top, huh? It's always
Man.
smart.
I tell you what, if I could take back a race, that would be the one. I look like an idiot out there because I made an adjustment, and it was, I was trying to get the car to turn a little bit better. Well, I did just that, and then the whole left rear was in the sky, and then I was traction rolling.
Mm.
So I was checking out how the dirt was down there, and it was pretty solid,
Okay.
And then I think with 6 to go, the left front came off.
Oh, you did a Kyle.
Pulled a Kyle.
I
Just didn't tighten it, huh?
maybe I need to, no. Like the tire was still together. It's just a hole assembly just came off. So I
Oh,
think
Okay, well, yeah, that's worse than a Kyle.
Yeah.
I did say my goal was to make the A. Apparently, I need to lengthen that goal to finish the A. So I think with those 100 laps, I think I'm just gonna let everyone run the bottom, and I'll just hang up top, and I'll accomplish my goal for next year of finishing the A with 100
Wow.
laps.
There you go.
So
No, you just go for the win.
Yeah.
Go for the W.
uh,
Come on, man. Set your sights high. Don't be like him.
well, what the money shows,
What the hell, man?
when you're racing for money, I try to race as clean as possible, and
That's hard.
Yeah.
A money race turns people.
Especially on such a tiny track.
well, yes, money shows are very difficult. How do I want to say this?
Aggressive.
You do not know where you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You honestly don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna upset someone and everything else. But luckily, that whole show ran really perfect. The only one who was basically an idiot out there was me, so I'll take it. I didn't affect anyone's race.
Don't you hate that? You make it to the show that is like, oh, the car just ain't working, and you look like a,
Yeah.
what the hell are they doing in there?
You look like an idiot, but it's just like, all right, well,
Whatever.
So be it.
At least
as
you
long as I
made it.
stay out of everyone's way, and I stayed out of
And when
Kurt's
Lance
way,
gives you crap, you say, well, at least I made it.
trust me, I kept hearing I think it was George announcing because Brock was getting pre-staged. And he kept saying about how Kurt was in the lead, and then him and Shane were actually having a good battle because they would get caught up in some wrecks, and the other would go past, and he would get caught up in wrecks, and then it would go by. So it was a lot of back and forth. And with me sponsoring that event, I sure as hell did not want to get in their ways. So
Yeah.
as soon as I saw them coming, I just moved up and let them fight for the win
I mean,
because I was clearly out of it.
how does it feel to sponsor an event that you're in? I mean, is that's got to be weird.
Well, I would.
Like, you could take home your own money.
That'd be nice. So
Free promotion.
Yeah.
now, I was trying to be extra careful with how that was, because I walked up to Brock and Hunter and it's just like, hey, with me sponsoring this event, I do not want to announce because I don't want to impact someone's race or whatever reason.
You wanted to play it fair.
And I wanted someone else to announce for all basically Traxxas stuff. But if they needed someone for open late model, midget, anything that's not Traxxas based, I was gladly to help. But luckily I didn't have to step in. I was focused on tech and I was watching the race, and it was really, it's like what I said about money shows. You don't know where you're going to get into. It's, a lot of unknown, but luckily this was a perfectly ran show. I couldn't be any more happier with how the results were, and it was just awesome.
Now, I gotta ask, you're the tech guy there. What's the worst thing you've seen this season?
Well, there's the battery fire.
Yeah. Now, did that guy, like, you teched them, you checked their battery, that was legal?
Yep.
It just caught fire?
Yes. And that's, we actually had a couple people was like, why are we teching if we're like technically an open late model and open sprint? And I was like, I kept telling Hunter, I kept telling Gary, so like, hey, they're giving me a hard time. The rule is like, I don't understand this because
and you're just a tech guy.
Yeah.
You're the one that you're the one that always gets the crap.
Yeah.
Our tech guy does too, and he's like, I don't know, I don't make the rules.
So it's funny because the one time, how it was is then that fire happened, and the next time that person came up, I didn't hear a peep about why they were teching, and Garrett brings it up a lot in the drivers' meetings. Like, we simply are in a basement in a 100-year-old building. The worst case scenario, that battery fire could have been worse.
Yeah.
And it goes into the wood floor, and the last thing.
Right. So, you're all trapped in the basement while the floor's on fire.
Yeah. But luckily, that was helped very quickly, and it was handled very, very efficient. And when, like Garrett said, we were back to racing in under 23 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, especially down there. I mean, like, you get a lot of smoke down there. It ain't good.
No. We evacuated everyone up to the top floor where the smoke wasn't as bad. I ran up to Sean and told him, like, hey, we had a battery fire. If the smoke starts venting up, then maybe we need to all go outside, stop the program, and everything else. But luckily, it didn't seep through. We had fans going to every exit point.
Yeah.
We had a small little fan by the sink, if you ever noticed. And then we have a storm gate, I guess is what it's called. We had that open where we had everything trying to vacuum out. So we were...
Everything was done that possibly could have been done.
Yes.
Now, have you caught any cheaters yet this year?
What did it say on Wednesday? But me, at the tech table, no.
No? No one overcharging the batteries?
Oh, I don't want to say his name, but yes.
Okay.
I had to sit someone because he had his battery at 855, and he was parked because he had to take that battery to his charger, and from what he said that his charger has been acting weird, and for some reason it charged it but didn't balance it.
Okay.
But that was the only battery that came up high.
Usually, like if anything, it's like not 845, it's not 855, it's 845 or 846. Yeah. Which isn't bad. I mean, 855, that's
that's pretty high.
That's not that high. But that's high compared to 844 and 845 and 846. I mean,
it's like what we hear on the drivers' meeting every Saturday. If you're trying to get your battery up to 850, at that moment you're just playing with a disaster at that point.
I charge them up to 8.8 sometimes. It's fine. It's all good.
If it's out
there, man. Someone was telling me they did it at 8.10. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Gosh.
Yeah.
All right. But.
And like a lot of guys, and I try to be helpful with everyone coming up. If their battery comes up low and it's like, hey, do you know, your race hasn't started. Do you have another charged battery? This one
Yeah.
is like 810, 820 or whatever. And you're like, oh shit, let me go swap
They
that
forgot
out.
to charge a battery, and like they're going out there with their heat battery.
Yeah, and I tell them like, hey, keep your car here. Just bring me the other battery, and I will watch you put it on there.
Yeah.
Because the rule is, obviously, you can't take your car back to your pits.
Right.
That beats the whole purpose of tech.
Right. Now, what else do you check when you're up there?
Well,
This
For-
is so we know what we can get away with.
good luck. 13.5 Mud Boss and 360s are by far the ones that I try to. We have to tech the most
Yeah.
because we are looking for blinky if you're running the regular XR10.
Yeah.
If you're running a just stock, all I have to do is look for that labeling on the ESC and you're good to go.
Okay.
We have to have everyone turn on their cars and turn on their controllers, and then once I see that blinking light, you're okay. Racing conditions.
You don't want somebody out there putting boost in.
Yes.
I mean, even though they're adding boost in, is that going to help you? I mean, come
You're
on.
just gonna hit the wall harder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You're going to put a hole through that wall.
Yeah.
Is what you're going to do.
Oh, that's what we need to
Yeah.
do. That's how we can take out our logo.
There we go.
Got it.
All right. Just add some boost.
Yeah.
We'll have you do that one. We'll
Man.
bring the SR10 for
You
you.
got a car I can borrow?
Do they race SR10 still? Are there still SR10s up there?
That kind of died off, and
Huh.
the new class that's been awesome that I've even thought about doing is actually the midgets. That
Okay.
is by far, I think, one of like the best, I guess, spec racing.
Yeah.
I guess is what it call. I mean, I guess because it's locked motor, locked ES.
What about the late model?
Wow.
No, Barney, the 13.5 can't be boosted.
No.
I don't know
No.
where Barney thought that was possible.
Open late model. Wow.
Yeah.
I bought, you know, when I first started in, I'm like, all right, I'll get a late model. I won't be in anyone's way. I'll try a sprint car and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I won't be in anyone's way. And that class grew over the.
Yeah, like last year they were just starting to come out.
Wow. I think it's by far, like, sometimes we have the most 410s,
What do you
but
have
the
in there?
late models have been
And you have
awesome.
a slot machine.
It's legal.
It's
Because
legal for
the
that
reason
class?
why it's open.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's open late model.
okay.
And for 410s, you're allowed to open. Oh, good point. For 360 and 13.5, you're not allowed to have the slot machine.
Okay.
She's a beaut. Kermit let me drive his the other week. Oh man, that was beautiful. I love the way that thing drove.
I like that class, and it's giving me a headache at the same time.
Yeah, and like the cars are just so complicated as far as setting them up. I mean, especially you're kind of new to this, so let's get into your history. You're kind of new to this. You've been at it for about a year now.
Exactly a year.
Yeah.
So, around a year, yeah.
How did you get into this? What made you decide you're going to go RC car racing?
So I worked
Who
for-
drug you to the track and said, "Hey, try this"?
His buddy that needed a tech person.
Yeah, the owner.
Is that really how it worked?
So I worked for. I sadly got to call Hunter a boss at Triple J, and I got to call him a boss at the factory. So I can't
Yeah.
really get away from that.
Can't
But,
buy from him when he needs you at the other place.
But he said he came in one day before the last season started and said, "Hey, I need a tech guy. It's open for grabs. I'll ask you guys first." And I'm like, "Shit, I ain't got nothing going on a Saturday besides watching paint dry. I'll go check it out."
Okay.
I went in there and like, all right, you know, watching it, you're like, this is kind of fun. I mean, I clearly can't afford the actual full scale car,
Yeah.
but I can easily throw that in the basement and not look at it for a full week.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of nice about it.
Did you even know that they race these things?
Here and there.
Okay, so it was kind of like, you heard about it, just didn't really know much about it.
Didn't know where.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I think, I think honestly, people getting into the hobby and they might want to race. I think that's one of the biggest things. They don't know where to go.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, me and my dad, we were trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know where to go.
Yep.
And it was one of those, like, it's information that's passed down the lane.
Yeah.
Like, you talk to somebody and go, well, yeah, I think they might be running here. You talk to somebody else. Well, yeah, I think that, no, that's over here. and it just keeps going on down until finally you get lucky and you find a place.
Yeah.
But then when you're in it, it's like being in the underbelly. Then you find out about all these other places, like underground fight clubs.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
But the season carried on, and like I went into being tech like I do not want to get into this. I do not want to get into this. I do not want to get into this.
Why did you say that? You're hanging out on the track, you're doing tech, and you're saying, I don't want to do this.
I just want to come and help out and watch. I wanted to be a spectator because this was a lot different to me because I'm used to cautions, used to waiting and everything else, where this is...
Something happens, you just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But it's a different aspect of different kind of racing. And then I think we get around to this point. I looked at Hunter and it's like, okay, your car is collecting dust. Let me give it a whirl. So how it started was, I think Garrett was in Chili Bowl or something. I forget.
Okay, so this time last year when they were out there. Yeah.
They were at exactly 99 entries.
Yeah.
And I walked over to Hunter, Garrett, George, and Brock. And I looked at him and was like, well, if you want 100, I'll give it a whirl. I'll give it a whirl.
You wanted to try it. You don't just say, I'll give it a whirl if I didn't want to try it. You were curious. He was curious.
But, yeah.
He's not curious.
I forget what... No.
Anyway. So
No.
he was curious. He was car curious.
I got into
Brian?
it.
What? Sorry.
Oh, good. Yep.
Oh, hey, Brian.
But, yeah, it was, got into it since.
How did that first race go?
He won.
You won.
He won.
You're
I
very
qualified.
He was
frustrated.
10 laps up over second place. I got you.
You're full of crap.
I missed out on the first heat, but I actually qualified for the A.
Oh,
Qualified
and
sixth.
novice, right? Or did you go to 12
I'm
turn?
sorry. That was the first time I went into 12 turn for that race. I think there was a couple other Wednesday shows I was practicing. But, yeah.
Okay, so you went right to 12 too.
No, I was in novice, and I'm like, all right, I kind of feel bad because Hunter's let me drive his car, and
It's better than everybody else's.
it's a little bit cleaner.
So even though like you're still new at it, you're driving a good car and you're doing great already. To the point where it's like, yeah, this is unfair. Really?
Well, also, I kept hitting my coworker Larry, and I felt bad. So
Why? Because he was so slow and you just came around a lap and it was like, get out of the way.
I felt bad.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just, it's bull ring, and it,
Yeah.
stuff happens fast.
Yes.
Kyle never feels bad if he hits me.
No, but it's like, all right.
You do.
I think it was more or less I just wanted a challenge.
Okay.
I went up there,
And you certainly did
Yeah.
well with it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I got my own car, and I felt bad because we were definitely trying different things to find more speed, and I fried one of his good motors.
Yeah.
And I felt bad, and that's when the whole Magnum Motors came about, because I started doing my own. And I think, honestly, if it wasn't for me doing my own, I don't think I would have had the success I've had.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that. And honestly, it's been a lot more fun watching everyone do well with your stuff, and it's been really rewarding with that, to watch that.
But why are you getting out of it?
Well, I think BL2 is obviously the more
The future.
yes.
Yeah.
It's obviously where everyone feels more comfortable with.
Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten into it a little bit sooner, because obviously no one had a crystal ball to see what was going on. I wish I would have gotten into this hobby a little bit sooner than what I did, to help out everyone else. I mean, because I only charged $35 and to help out the hobbyists, to keep them racing and focused on what they need to do.
Right.
But yeah, the BL2 is doing that, and I think everyone's just, obviously, rightfully so, it's more cost effective to help them out.
Yeah.
and it just doesn't make sense to be on Titanic and stay on the ship while it sinks.
Right. There's a lifeboat. You might as well jump on it.
Yep.
Yes.
So
I'm going to finish out the season, and then I'm done. I'm actively looking for a plan B to try and stay in the hobby and try to find something that I can get into while keeping the Magnum alive.
Okay.
I was thinking about getting into 3D printing, but Sean Good definitely has that cranking.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
He's been doing awesome work. I mean, his stuff. I think he's still watching. Sean, if you would send a pic of your display with everything that you have, that would be greatly appreciated, because he has printed out a lot.
I need help, he says.
But yeah.
So with speaking of Sean Good, Mini Mud Boss, what the heck is going on up there with that? How come you got smaller cars and they want to go to a 6-car field?
So that's actually, from what I heard after this, with talking with Hunter and Garrett and Brock, Mud Boss and Novice will be going down to 6. Late model, sprint car, and midget, I believe.
So all together, blanket 6-car features instead of 8. Wow, so it's going to be even harder to get in the freaking feature then.
So, I was hoping you would share.
So
he prints out everything.
Yeah.
And also,
Let's see.
another huge help. So I was at the... Yeah, take over.
I'll take it over.
That way it gets away from my ugly mug. Sean, with the addition with Sean coming up to Tech, it's been really rewarding that he will bring his daughters when his daughter, I think daughters too, yeah, but he brings his daughter, and she's been a huge help as well, because she will take over and allow me to focus on my stuff. Yeah, and then.
And that's always the thing when you're helping run the show, when you have time to do your stuff. Yeah. To get ready, and like especially if you have a problem.
Kyle knows a lot about that.
Well, Kyle also, like, he's announcing.
Yes, he's busy the entire show.
Right. He doesn't get to take a break unless he's out there running. Yeah. And even then, it's like a case where Sunday at the rink, I helped out the first round, but I wasn't racing since I was leaving, so I don't know who did the second for the mains and for the second main. So
I think, I would be, I don't know what the correct word I'm looking for, but I think I have to give her a shout out, because she has been a huge help with keeping the tech going. And while Sean, her dad, and me are focused trying to like figure out what we need to do, she's right there to take over and help us out while she's still racing too with Novice. Right. So she's been awesome.
What's the hardest thing about getting a car set up for the factory? Especially the Mud Boss. What's the hardest thing to figure out? What do you suggest for people coming up there? If I'm coming up there from any other track, what do you suggest you do? You're a pro up there, so.
I'm a pro. I'm just lucky.
There you go. Have luck.
Like, what kind of weight oil do you run? Like, I've heard anything from, like, some people tell me they're running 100 weight in the right rear, to other people tell me, like, oh, yeah, I'm running 30.
That's a lot.
A lot for 30, or do you run less?
100.
Oh, yeah, 100.
So, what I do is, I run 50 on the right rear. Yeah. I run 30 on this one, 30, and 30. Okay. That allows the car just to basically push the whole weight on the... Yeah. And doesn't allow it to turn down. So. And
you're using S1s.
Yes, shaved down. These are because I was coming over here. I wanted to get tires that weren't really prepped hard. Okay. I didn't want to bring my race ready stuff because I know you guys are sponsored by the best prep around, but I didn't want it smelling like the best prep around. Yeah.
They're kind of soft though, and a little sticky.
Well,
they're not too soft. I mean, I was always told to get a really soft tire for up there.
These actually were bought to run White Rose.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
The
So I didn't touch
asphalt
them at all.
track.
Yes.
I'd say use hard tires.
Whatever tire I used didn't really work anyways.
Okay.
I'll be leading and hitting the disc.
Yeah. Yeah, that did happen to you. So are you going to go up there this year?
So my original plan before the whole BL2 news was I actually was going to park this car after with the outdoor season coming up, because I want to move up to, I want to focus on my late model,
Okay.
and I have a sprint car I want to focus on,
Okay.
and I was just only going to run the 12T for, big events like the Mud Boss Nationals,
Okay.
Christmas Nationals. But with the BL2 coming in, it's just like I don't have the desire to run that system when I have a 13.5 now, and
Yeah.
which I don't plan to run in a lot.
Yeah.
Because I want to focus, like I said, on the late model, which has really been fun to drive. As
Okay.
much as the headache it gives me, I like driving it.
I know AJ, he's been basically getting away from 12T and the big block and all that, and he's been focusing more on his late model
I'll
and
tell
his
you.
sprint as well.
After I ran Kermit's indoor, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is like driving a dream, man.
So back to what you guys were saying about 6 cars, and I just read what Skunk Boss said. I still don't know how the hell they run 8 cars on that little building. It is bull ring. Sorry, it's so chaotic.
Oh shit!
You are
I think
correct.
they should be 10.
Screw it, all 20.
Yeah, everybody that enters.
Depending on who you have there, it can run smooth.
Yes.
It can run smooth. Like our A main for like the 100 laps for 13.5 and 12 turn. I mean, obviously, I was the only one that was being chaotic with wrecking and wrecking. So I was the only one doing that. So I had that covered for everyone else. But 13.5 ran really good. The idea came about when I brought it up to Hunter and Brock when they were standing there. It's like, hey, we got 8 cars out here, and with 360, and it's chaotic. Novice.
Novice was always chaos
Yes.
up there, man.
It got to the point where you just like got on the mic and you're talking, and it's just like you're just basically saying, you're not saying
Colin
turn one,
Rex.
you're saying the whole track.
Yeah, watch
Yeah.
the whole track.
And it's just like
Go high, whole track. Go low, whole track.
And also, we were talking to a parent whose kid runs a novice. It's like, I want to see what they can do, because you guys don't have an intermediate class. You just
Right.
jump right up to 12 turn. And I would like to see what he's capable of, because he's been dominant. But,
Is that one of the Kaminsky's?
yes.
I knew that.
Sorry, Kurt, but didn't mean to put you on the spot there. But, Kurt,
Oh, we know.
But Kurt, I mean, by the way, I do. The Kaminsky's have been running my stuff. And you know what sucks about that? They're better than me.
I'm
So
pretty sure it's just a setup, man.
It's funny
They
because
probably got hundredweight in there. That's the problem. I mean, you need to have hundredweight. I mean, if you had hundredweight, it'd be solving all the issues. You'd be a lot faster.
it's funny because one person told me, he's like, "Oh, I'm sure you keep the best motors for yourself." I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, I sure don't.
Oh,
I sure don't."
Brandon did.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he did.
Everyone that does motors, you always hear people saying that.
So,
All right. So, okay, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, go
But
ahead.
not for novice. It was very simple. It's just like you're trying to learn the class. You're trying to learn repetitiveness, trying to make good laps and
Yeah.
everything else. That's why I was doing that. For sprints, and I am not trying to call anyone out when I say this, but for 360, guys were just driving into each other because it was your spec class racing. Now I understand it's racing, and you're trying to get there's eight of you on the track, and you're all trying to get to one spot. I understand. But at the end of the day, it's more or less just trying to drive with a little bit more respect and trying to be respectful of everyone.
Causing
out
less
there.
fights.
Yeah.
Less drama, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Has there been a lot of drama up on the stand?
Yeah,
Okay.
not as much.
Not as much.
Not a lot.
No.
But yeah, it's just more or less just trying to keep it clean, you know, trying to make it less chaotic and just more fun for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I could care less if it's 8 or 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Whatever.
what it is.
Yeah.
But
So-
for like novice class,
So only 4 guys are going to qualify from the heats.
yes,
2 will bump up.
yes. Now, from what my understanding is that they're only going to do it for the novice class.
Yeah.
But then they said, hey, we're just going to do it for the mud boss entirely. I'm like, oh,
Even
okay.
12T.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
We'll make it competitive. You
Wow.
going to run that? Okay.
but I see what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make it more better racing in a sense. Luckily for the Mud Boss Nationals, we only had 4 cars in a heat, and that made it nice. So, but yeah.
Okay. That increases your odds of, you know, doing a good qualifying run. So, especially when you get up there, you know, you're especially if you luck out and get one of those qualifiers where 2 people drop out right away and it's only 2 of you.
That was my first one.
That's always nice.
It
Makes it so much easier,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
it? Oh man.
But yeah, it was. There was a couple guys that have been asking to lower it down to 6.
Yeah.
I looked at them as just like, well, you know, everywhere.
It's worth trying. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
see how it goes, and like, you know, maybe guys will find like, you know, I'd rather have 8.
Honestly,
I'd rather deal with the crashes and just get more of us in there.
All right, so
The crashes, honestly, it shakes the entire field up.
yeah,
It does.
That makes it anybody's game.
But I mean, we've talked about that too at Pheasantland,
Mm-hmm.
where we're running 10 cars in a feature on the big track.
Oh, really?
Inside.
Yeah, we're 10 cars.
Inside, it's 10. It's a big track.
But last
20
year there
overall.
was a lot of complaints that, hey, everybody's wrecking. There's always wrecks. It's always crashing. And you know, it's like, well, you know, the problem is there's 12 cars start out the night, 10 cars qualify. There's no filter.
Yeah.
So there's no filter to get people out of there that, you know, might just be new at it and, you know, might not be set up for it. So they're running a half second slower, and they're a little squirrely. So there's no filter to get them out. So then you wind up with more wrecks.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know, part of that would be solid. We go from 10 to 8 because now you got to have a B main. People are going to get bumped out.
So I'll be honest with you. I'm sure that was a difficult decision that Hunter and Brock and Garrett had to make.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I could care less if it's 8, 6.
You're racing no matter what.
The way I see
You're
it,
just going to go out there and do the best you can.
the way I see it,
If the best you can get that day is, you know, 3rd in the B main, you know, they're taking 3, so they're bumping up 2. You finish 7th in the A main.
Yeah.
So that's the same.
The way I see it, I mean, it's the bigger tracks, they run them. I mean, Pheasant Lane, you just said like the outdoor track, you guys run 8 and you're about the same size.
Yeah.
But
there can be nights where it's just a wreck fest. It's just crash.
it's
You know, and usually those happen when there's only 8 cars. And it's like, well, everybody qualifies. There's no filter. There's no filter to say, like, here's a car that's running, what were we running there? 4 3s. The top 3 cars are running 4 3s. The last 3 cars were running 4 7s.
Yeah.
And it's just crash. Because you're always in lap traffic. And, you know, things happen so fast, sometimes people, you just can't get out of anybody's way. So,
yeah.
and if you got 2nd and 3rd behind you, and you're coming up on 5th and 6th, and they're battling,
Yeah.
and you want to get up there and get by them, but they're not making it easy because they're racing each other. So, you know, then it winds up being a wreck.
But I mean, honestly, what I've been trying to do that I can understand with that car, but I can't seem to get it in my head with the late model, is that it's 75 laps, patience.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason I can easily I can just go. I know wherever I start, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That I'm going to be coming up on quick. And it's just, from what I've been trying to tell people, it's like, it's that old saying, you don't need to win it on the first lap. You just need to be smooth.
Yes.
It is 75 laps. Get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Try to, and try to just run your race.
The worst part is you start out that way, and you start in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You're being patient. You're avoiding the wrecks. You go about 20 laps in. You've gotten through all the stuff. You're up in fourth, third.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're up in. You're getting in the podium spots. You're getting up there. You're running well. That's when usually something happens.
Yeah.
And that's when you really start. That's when it makes you impatient, because it's like, I want to get back up there, and then boom, another wreck. Boom, another wreck.
You just said it, and the word I've been trying to tell people is like patience.
Yeah. Right.
And that's a word that I need to get in my head too when I run that car, and I just go over my head. And that's another reason why I want to park that thing too, is I'm creating bad habits for that.
Okay.
Because they both drive obviously different.
Right. That's that car there is far more precise.
Yes.
Than that.
Yes.
You turn that, it turns.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to set it up, like this compared to that, that's a lot more complicated setup.
Yeah, and it's honestly, when everything is going right, it's more rewarding with that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, that's awesome because I'm doing my own motors and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, it's really rewarding against like a normal Saturday show when you're running with everyone and that's everything's going right with that car. But it's more rewarding when this car, when you can make laps and you can.
You can actually cut some hot laps and it's fast, because those things look so impressive when they're out there running fast. Now I got to ask, you've been on a few tracks. If we take the factory out of it, what has been one of your favorite tracks to try out to race it? Really? Okay.
Leicesters.
Okay.
So I will actually be heading there. I am not. So unlike last summer, I am not going to be running a lot.
Yeah.
But I am most definitely going to be running a few shows at Leicesters because that track is by far the most difficult because it has no banking.
Okay.
It is, and what my crew chief that I joke around with, Brad Muller, says is like, if you can run Leicesters, you can run anywhere. And he is correct because Leicesters is banked, and not Leicesters, LCRC is banked, and it's a bigger track, so you can run there.
Yeah.
Baltimore has a little bit of banking, so I mean, I think they changed the surface halfway into it.
Yeah.
And I only got a chance to run there once, but anyways, it was a wide track, had a little bit of banking, and you know where to be.
Yeah.
I will honestly say, if you have to take the factory away, White Rose is actually second.
Really, asphalt track.
So what I try to argue with
that's a big surprise. I didn't expect to hear that from you.
So what people don't know, and I try to say it, it's like, look, I understand we're in PA, and it's dirt. White Rose teaches you how to be consistent.
Yes.
Because you need to be.
I really like that track, to be honest. I'm if I could be an asphalt racer, I'd just be an asphalt racer. Because you got to be smooth, you got to be precise, and you're right. It's more about consistency, and you could go a whole hell of a lot faster.
White Rose teaches you good habits.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell people is like, look, I know it's asphalt. I know you got to bring a different set of tires and different like setup and everything else. But what you're not seeing also is White Rose is the benefit because it's going to help you to make sure your consistency stays up and you're running good laps and you're doing everything else. And I would have to say my third favorite, a track that I need to go back to redeem myself because I did not have a good run, period. Stops.
Okay. I've never been to Stobbs. You haven't either. We haven't been to Leicesters either. So.
I went there with my rubber tire, for the rubber tire racing series. I probably won't be able to take that again, which sucks. But I did not do really well with that. And now that I got to 13.5, I want to go back and try to redeem myself on that place. So,
I know this summer a dirt track I want to get to is I-81 Kips. That's the one.
Oh, that's the high bank one.
That's the high bank. You run the
That's
lip.
fun.
I
That
wanna
would
get
be
to
fun.
that
I
one.
would like to try that too.
I wouldn't mind going to Leicester's. I want to this year. I need to get out to LCRC for their oval.
Yeah.
I need to.
so
You were there because we were both there that day. You ran the late model, right?
both
You
cars.
ran the 12T too. You had a struggle that day.
That was not a good day.
No. Kyle had a struggle too. I thought I had a good day. I was happy with that day.
I mean,
I got in the A main. It was like you the other day. I got in the A main. That's all I wanted to do.
yeah.
I don't care where I finish. I can finish last.
Oh,
I saw Carter with Jesse come like, you just go, kid. I ain't keeping you behind me.
Oh, yeah, so
Forget that.
I remember
It's
that.
scary having him behind you because you know he's fast.
Yeah, he gives you a lot of pressure.
Yes.
I'd rather have him in front.
Yes.
It was the first, I think it was the first or second time I was at LCRC. And actually what I was doing was I was running both of these cars trying to get an idea of setup for the Rubber Tire Racing Series because it was their last points race. Oh, so I wanted to get to this really quickly. Magnum Motors was actually not going to be Magnum Motors.
What was it going to be?
Yeah, there was another name that was in the running. This one's actually a little bit more funny. But
Should we do a guess? Go with it.
well, because
That's it. He has to redo his thing.
That's
and he
why
has
he's
to
giving
come
up
back
on the
out.
Magnum. He's going to start doing the BBs.
so fun fact, the logo that came with the Smoke to Competition and everything else was actually from my dad's logo for his chassis, and it already had like a cool catchphrase, Smoke to Competition.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just dropped the chassis and added motors and 12 turn in. The logo that is on the paper is actually from George, and George did a phenomenal job updating my dad's logo. So
Yeah.
I actually went with that. Let's see if I can bring it up, show you guys. But yes, Billet Bullets was actually really close to doing it, but I couldn't. I was thinking about it. I was like, nah, I want to do something cool.
I think you should go to Trojan now.
So
That's pretty
Sick.
close.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So it has the Magnum on there. It has the smoke coming up like how the car is, and yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
I definitely wanted that, and it's been awesome.
Well, now that you're running these, what's another class you'd like to try? What other kind of racing you want to do?
Well, I want to get the reason why I want to run Leicester's a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be running a late model a lot because, well, I can easily write down the setup and go from there. I want to run the sprint car a little bit more. I
Yeah.
need to get a little bit better on that. Some days it's weird to me that a car that I don't really understand is doing better than my late model that I've been trying to focus hard on. But yeah, I want to focus on the sprint car.
Yeah.
If I had to get another car, it would probably be a midget.
Okay.
I thought about an SE mod. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Really cool, but there's not a lot of the guys up here that run them.
No.
So,
All right. What track would you really like to go to that you haven't been to?
place that you guys race the most.
Pheasant Lane? All
I'm
right.
thinking I'm going to try with the Underdog Series. I'm going to try to get up here. And with the Underdog Series going to WNRC.
Yeah, I've never been out there. You haven't either.
Nope.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So you're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Sure, we're gonna do that. We got to support those guys. So
But
they've always helped us out.
sad to say that I don't know if I'm going to be running. I'm not. So this year, it's like what I said. I'm not trying to run for points. I just want to have fun this year.
It seems a lot of people are saying that for this upcoming year. They're not trying to run for points anywhere. They just want to do some traveling, go to these different tracks.
Right, it's a lot of
Just
work running for points.
Race.
Oh, look
Oh,
who
crap. The Kool-Aid Man's
Never
here.
missed a
Turn
show.
up! Turn up!
Never missed
Turn
a
up!
show. Don't worry.
He hasn't made it on
You've
camera.
been
Turn it
here.
off.
All right, guys, it's a fun day. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later, Jackson. The show's over, right? Hey, if you missed it, we're making fun of you on the show. You have to go back through.
Hey, it's John Bath. He's here.
Oh, Good thing that John's on here.
It's Curdy.
I can leave now. I didn't miss the show.
It's White Rose. The curse that it definitely has. That race with John Bass for the I think it was the Summer Nationals. That is by far one of my top 3 favorite races.
Too bad Brandon wasn't there. He could have choked it out of the last lap, and you would have beat him.
It was. If I could have gotten a video of that race,
I'm still pissed about that day.
there was just a lot of
I was good
respect.
with that.
There was a lot of respect between him and I. We were running for the lead. I got by him. He got held up by lap traffic. They didn't wreck, but they just held him up, and I was able to squeeze by. And then on the last lap, I hit the amazing disc,
Yeah.
the dreadful disc.
Right.
So
When you run on tracks with disc as much as we do, we hate them.
best part is too, another disc story. LCRC, I was running for a transfer spot. I think it was in the C, and I could run second place down, but then I hit the disc and wrecked him. Ran him back down, hit the disc again, and it's just like, all right.
The disc just kept jumping out in front of you.
Yeah.
There was a guy on Reddit that was asking, I have ADHD, and like, how do I keep it together during a race? Brandon, you got answers?
Oh, squirrel.
One of those things Mark Klaus told us is, he heard, like, you get the shakes. He gets up front, he gets the shakes, he gets nervous.
Yeah.
He heard that eating sour candy helps get rid of that.
No, you know what actually helps that?
What?
And I know Duncan House does it. Chew gum.
Chew gum.
Yeah.
I tried that. I tried listening to my music. Obviously
I always
not-
wanted to try listening to music.
So I have the volume to where I can still hear the announcer.
Yeah.
But also where I don't want to hear them at the same time. Because it seems like every time they say your name,
Right.
oh, here comes the wall. So you know what I mean?
Here
Like,
comes
you,
the wall.
You do something stupid.
Yes! The announcer's curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna tell you this. That's not a real thing. Because I did that before for Rob and everything, and they still wreck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. I mean,
I find too, like, sometimes I'm up there, and this usually happens when I'm out there leading. I'm like, man, I'm gonna win this race. I'm doing great. And that's when you start fucking up.
yeah.
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 And that's what I say to myself, listen, shut up. You're racing this lap, not lap 50.
So it's funny because every time when I get out there, I look, I look to see who's sometimes watching, or not. But for some reason, Todd Ravel is always watching me. And the best part is that he does this. Don't be in here. I'm like, all right, I'm done looking at you.
Yeah. You're
But,
too busy looking at him then, and then you're fucking up.
Yeah.
But he, I thank him for that because he's obviously saying it correctly. Don't be in your head.
Yeah.
Run a smart race.
Yeah.
I've coached him to a third place already at the factory.
There you go.
He's telling me, like, just don't go fast. You're good.
You
You're
don't
good.
need to pass this guy. Don't pass him.
You did that to me too at the factory.
Mm-hmm.
You had to yell a couple times before I actually understood.
Don't pass
What
him.
you
You don't
were
need to
saying.
pass him.
One thing too I found is, like, you're trying to run your pace, and you're it's getting near the end of the race. You're in a podium. You start getting nervous
Yes.
because you're thinking too much about it.
Yep.
You're like, I got to hold on to this car. I find, like, my goal is to pass that lap car, or let's just try and run this lap a little bit better. Like, always set some kind of goal that gets your mind focused on that, versus that you're in this position. The next place behind you is like 3 car lengths back.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you out of that routine, because you start watching that guy behind you, and then you start screwing up your own lap because now you're watching them and how they're catching you. So now you're
Especially when the guy behind you does the Joel Steve.
right. You're going. You're Joel Steen.
Joel Steve.
The Joel
When
Steen,
Kyle
yeah.
screwed you
Okay.
up.
And
I wrecked him.
you're too busy watching them, so then you start going higher in the corner. What's always great is when you can get the guy behind you, you dive in a little too low, and you get them to follow you right through, And then they
Or
hit
you
the
get
dots
them
like,
to dive
oh,
a
it's
little
great.
a little
Yeah.
lower.
Yep. And then they screw up.
So,
Yeah.
I remember my dad saying, I call him talking to someone. You need to know who. It's like an old racing. You hear like guys who've been in racing forever say this.
Yeah.
You need to know who you're racing alongside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You need to know what you're doing wrong,
Yep.
and you can't be driving with a rear view mirror because you need to focus on what's ahead.
Right.
And yes, I know the announcer. He's trying to make things exciting, and he's trying to keep everyone watching to gather around and watch this race because it literally is becoming a race for spot. But I think at the main time, I look back, I glance back, see what they're doing, and I glance forward because obviously looking forward is a little bit more important than behind.
Yes.
I mean, Rabble. Him and I were in a late model race.
Yeah.
And he had the faster car that day. How about it? But
Sure.
I knew the competition.
Yeah.
And I knew what they drove like. He did not. So he's trying to make passes like I wouldn't have done that on that guy. And he's doing that. It's like, yep, I'll just keep going. And it's like, no matter how fast he could go, he could catch me. But we get up to that certain people. I'm like, yeah, I know how to handle this. He does it. And then next thing I know, he's getting doored in the side. It's like, yep, you're gone. So
Yeah. That's the one trouble too is like the lap traffic can dictate who's going to win.
Yeah.
And
It's great when it's in your favor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I try when I announce.
It's not. It's almost Cheez-It orange.
More than a Cheeto.
Yeah. But
Cheeto
it is
120.
kind of Cheeto orange.
I try to when I'm
That sounds like
announcing, I try to let
derogatory
everyone
slur.
know the lead,
Cheeto orange.
so who the leader is, and if second place is closely behind them. I try to tell everyone like, hey,
They're battling. Move over.
move
Yeah.
over, move over.
Well, you never tell them to move over.
No.
You just say they're coming.
No,
I mean,
that's like the nice way of just get the hell out of the way.
Well, I
Yeah,
also
well, I mean, technically they don't have to. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, especially if you're, let's say, fifth, and you haven't gone a lap down yet, and you're halfway through the race. That fifth place guy, you know, they deserve to be able to race just as much as anybody else.
well, you can argue that, but you can also argue too when you look at like the big car racing, like late models and sprint cars.
Yeah.
The flagmen do tell the lap traffic that hey,
Move
the
over.
leader is coming.
Yeah.
But also from when you talk to the guys that are doing well, so it's like, hey, what did you want me to do? It's like, I'm more worried about where you're going to go into that corner than where you want to be. Because sometimes, like, it's a misunderstanding. It's like, I'm trying to get out of your way, but I bump you out of the, I bump into you. But it's just like, it's what everyone says. It's like, I'm trying to watch what you're going to do so I can make a clean pass on you.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword, and
Sometimes it ends badly.
yes.
Well, guys, we got 2 minutes left. Chad, I want to thank you for coming all the way out here and being a great guest tonight.
Who?
I know you've been nervous about it, but yet, listen, I knew you'd be great.
I'm not a very outgoing person, so.
Yeah, you've been great on this show.
Yeah.
You've been entertaining. You've talked a lot. You've been very informative. He's even given us news. So,
Do shout out to the sponsors.
Not yet.
would you like to give a shout out?
Well, clearly the factory. I
Okay.
wouldn't be racing without Hunter. Fryco, who sponsors my late model. It's it's bad when you gotta look at your car to see who sponsors you. That guy who does Magnum Motors, they've been stellar.
He's been paying you a lot of money to do this, hasn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
I can't say. I tried to pronounce the word correctly, but B Rock. I'm just gonna say honey.
Apiaries.
Thank you.
There you go.
But
What? The Pyries.
Apiaries.
Pyries.
Apiaries.
No, there's no B in it.
I said apiaries.
Ape is an APE, not API. No, it ain't.
but anyways,
Big mean.
Apiaries. It's the
honey.
places that has the beehives. And
We're
the
not raping
beehives.
apes. It's not ape raping Aries. Freaking. All right.
factory.
A sandwich is not a salad, and a salad is not a sandwich.
Oh, here
I'll
we
tell you
go.
that.
Here we go.
But Triple J,
Next
Gilcraft
subject for
Speed
next
Parts.
week. You got more sponsors than us.
I had to. It's part of the factory with those. What did you put on there?
Yeah, they don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No bun hoagies. A salad is a sandwich. It's an on-roading thing.
Yeah. So we got some news. Do you want to break it?
We do.
Osborne.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not yet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll bring that up again next week. So where are you guys racing?
The factory.
When?
I might be trying off-road on Wednesday.
Nice. Why don't you do it Saturday, me and you? What are you going to run? A slash?
Yeah, I ran one from Sean.
Oh.
And I have to talk to Hunter because I got my controller, receiver, and transponder free. So if he lets me run his buggy,
There you go.
so please and thank you. And Saturday I'll be teching and racing these two because it is a points rail.
Okay.
Sure.
You're leading points, aren't you?
Oh no,
No? Like you were.
no.
Oh.
Kurt Kaminsky is leading the points.
Where are you at?
Third.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm 5 points behind, but
How many more weeks to go?
2 included in this one.
Wow.
So it's a really tight battle
You
because
got a
it's,
shot.
Steve Goodhart actually stopped running his 12th turn, but he's currently holds second.
Why you stop running?
He's actually leading 360 sprint,
Oh.
and he just got that. We have 2 drops, and he had perfectly 2 drops used, and he's been running his 360, and he is currently holding down the
Wow.
front.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That is really awesome.
So when I won my novice championship up there,
Yep.
you guys did 3 drops,
That was before my time.
and I missed the first 3 weeks,
Those are the old days, old timer.
and won almost every other race, and I won points.
But Steve Goodhart, he's really been doing good, and he also has a late model. So we're behind him. It's me, and then I have Jeff Kaminsky. So
Okay.
we're within a tight 6-point battle,
Mm.
and it's going to come down to the
You
very
probably shouldn't have
last.
told Goodhart he's in second. Now he's going to come back out.
I hope he does,
Okay. All right.
because the top 4 right there all run Magnum.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
So
So he wants to make that look good.
So what about you?
Going
Nowhere.
to the yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Now I'm going down to Pheasantly on Friday and Factory Saturday.
All right. You?
Hold up. What are you running Saturday?
I have no idea yet.
All right.
Probably BL2 and maybe Savage if people want to take them.
He just had no idea. Now all of a sudden he's got ideas.
Hey, I don't know.
5
We'll
missed
see.
class.
What about you?
5
No.
minutes.
Shut up.
Sorry, that was
Kyle.
me.
Hey.
Kyle, where are you running?
Wait, let him finish. You said hey.
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 We're over. It's 9:03. These
But-
people all want to go to bed.
Pheasantland Tuesday and Friday, and I'll be at the factory on Saturday.
Ooh,
Rerun.
Bloodline Invasion.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm going after that point title.
What point?
I was gonna wreck Chad so he's gonna get it.
Oh.
Team Kosminski!
Oh.
Not trying to brag,
Wait,
but
what
you
if I
have
go
to
after
catch me
Kaminsky?
first.
No, I don't. I can wait for
Go
you.
after him.
He's gonna go backwards on the track.
If you just go after him, you solve the problem.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk up and sign another Steve Goodhart.
Mm. So there you go.
Brock, don't worry about it.
So we got to thank our
Where are
sponsors.
you racing there?
Yeah,
Obi?
yeah.
Kenobi?
No one cares.
I asked.
Oh, well,
Aaron's not
He asked.
racing. He quit.
I'm gonna
I'm going back down to Florida.
I'm gonna go to Pheasantland
When?
Tuesday and Friday.
Oh
There's
yeah.
no racing at Park Lane. They're switching over to Mini Z's. Then the factory Saturday, and I'm gonna try to do the double
Wait, you're going
downstairs
to
and
the factory
upstairs.
Saturday? I go.
Yeah.
I heard you driving.
Kyle, where are we
I
going?
am not driving.
Where are we going if we're not going to the factory? Aaron can go.
Florida.
Oh, okay.
I'm going. I'll go with you.
Oh, and
Warm.
I just want to do this real quick before we end the show. I'd like to thank all the racers and all the sponsors that came on board for the Mud Boss Nationals. It was a really perfect show, and it begs the question: will Mud Boss Nationals presented by Magnum 2025 be a possibility because that was as perfect as that show was. That was making me think if I want to do it again because it was really
One
good.
and done, be happy.
But thank you to all the drivers who made that show a smooth show. J-Body actually came down and
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
I think it was
Brett.
That was
yeah.
Brett.
Sorry.
It was Brett. It was
Brett,
a picture.
there too.
Brett was there, and thank you for the chit chat about that. And thank you to everyone who came on board and helped us out and promote a good show. So I wanted to say that quick.
So we got to thank some sponsors.
KHD Speed Labs.
Race Ready Products.
Papa Willie's.
Best traction
That
compound.
it is. That it is.
Come back to me. Come back. J-Body RC, you idiot.
I just got done
said
talking
it.
about him.
We said it.
But we didn't thank them. And soon to become a new one.
Yeah. Suspense.
Dun, dun, dun.
Alright.
All right, folks. Thank you very much.
Still didn't miss a show.
But who's this Oval Edge RC?
Oval Edge RC.
Who
are
Edge
you?
RC? Who is he?
I don't know.
Never saw him before on our feed.
Ooh, Edge.
Oval Edge.
I don't know.
So.
Can we get in the show so I can go home?
You just got here.
You just got here.
We gotta keep going. We gotta do.
You gotta go
episode
90
number
more
2.
minutes, man.
We gotta do
Alright.
episode
By
number
yourself.
2.
What about
With
myself?
no guests.
Alright.
And no results. Let's see how you do this one.
I'll take a nap.
Yeah.
The show where Kyle sleeps.
I mean, people get a lot of money to do
probably
that.
watch it. Yeah.
ASMR.
Think about the shit I say when I'm awake. Think about what I'm going to say when I'm not awake.
Oh God.
Y'all suck. I like fluffernutter in my hot chocolate.
Jesus.
All right. Well,
I'm a peanut butter pansy doggy. What do you think I'm going to say? I don't know.
folks,
Aaron sucks.
things
Oh,
are
you say that
things
awake,
are
too.
yeah, you do. Things are getting a little out of hand here, so we're gonna shut this down
Was it already
Before-
in hand?
before we get
Cheez
off
It
of
sponsor
YouTube.
us.
Why don't you make a cheese
Monster
car?
sponsor us.
Oh. Are you gonna shut the back before it gets extra toasty in here?
Yep.
Just
And
like your
with
racing
that-
career, toasted.
Oh,
You can end right there on that note.
you got that one. That's good.